Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right.
Now, yesterday I followed Stephen A. Smith on Instagram and on social media, and he posted something that was totally unlike Stephen A. Smith. This is what he said on his Instagram yesterday, which I noticed, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like Stephen A.
There's a few things going on in the world of sports that need to be addressed, but on this particular day, they don't take precedent. Instead, one would be Aaron Rodgers and his situation with the Pat McAfee show. That's necessary to address because, after all, I'm an employee for ESPN. The other would be a fat bastard that has gotten away for far too long talking his bullshit. You wanted some? Fine. I'm happy to give it to you. All I will say is that the things that I'm going to say, please don't hold anybody responsible for it other than me. Nobody. I even took the liberty of calling my pastor to apologize in advance for what I'm going to say about that no good bastard. So I will address that in just a few minutes, and I'm not engaging in hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. The pastor's name is Pastor A.R. Bernard at Christian Cultural Center. You don't believe me? Call him and ask him.
All right. So that's where it started. And Stephen A. Smith is my Queen's brethren. When I seen him start talking like that, I said, what the hell is going on?
How was he talking?
Just like that. Like, Stephen A. Smith, he
that wasn't nothing extra. That wasn't nothing crazy.
He usually doesn't talk about colleagues. He usually talk more about sports.
Jason Whitlock's not his colleague.
Well, Jason Whitlock, if you don't know who it is, he has a show on Blaze, and he said Stephen A. Smith, I guess he went down the same road as Cat Williams tried to go down, and he said Stephen A. Smith was an industry plant and that he didn't write his own book. Well, Stephen A. Smith wanted to address some of the things that Jason Whitlock said about him.
This man will tell you I'm lying. He even went so far as to say my autobiography, where I talk about my mother, my father, my sisters, the business, my hiring and firing and rehiring at ESPN. I didn't write it. This article is an article written on Deadspin.com. The title, How Jason Whitlock is Poisoning ESPN's Black Grant Land. Let me read the graph to you. This staff, the one Whitlock was praising by way of warnings that if the writers and editors wouldn't align with his vision, he would get rid of them, was not the one Whitlock wanted. The Undefeated was originally meant to attract the best and brightest young black talent in the country. Those young writers comprehensively refused to work with him. So did big-name ESPNers like Howard Bryant, Jamel Hill, and Stephen A. Smith. I couldn't write, huh?
Well, he talks about that, and then he talks about, after that, Jason Whitlock actually running up on him and apologizing and saying he's sorry, and wrote an email and said he understands and how bad he thought their relationship was.
Did you tell them how you stood outside of First Take begging me to talk to you? Did you tell them that once this same article in Deadspin came out, weeks later you wrote a lengthy apology to me in an email, begging me to forgive you? Pointing out how you were betrayed by this particular writer, so you know how I must feel that you betrayed me. Did you tell the folks that? You
He also talks about how he doesn't like Jason so much that he even made it his point to put in his contract that he never, ever has to work with him on the network.
Ladies and gentlemen, how serious I am? Am I? I have a contract that I negotiated with ESPN and I signed in 2015. I had it in my contract, and I have a copy of it, where it specifically stipulates that I never work with Jason Whitlock. It's in writing. No wonder you didn't see him on First Take. You didn't see him on Undisputed with Skip Bayless either. Skip Bayless wouldn't allow him on there. You didn't see him on Numbers Never Lie either. Jamel Hill and Michael Smith wouldn't allow him on there.
I wonder how much of this is Stephen A. Smith being actually upset, or how much of this is Stephen A. using Jason Whitlock for content. Not that Stephen A. needs it, you know what I mean? And I'm not mad at any of it, but I just wonder because Shannon Sharp had a great week with the Cat Williams Club Shay Shay interview. You know, right. Pat McAfee had a great week with all the Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel controversy. Stephen A. might feel a need to keep up. Might be a need to compete. I don't know. I'm just saying because there really is no reason for Stephen A. Smith to be discussing Jason Whitlock at this point. I mean, he's been throwing shots at Stephen A. Smith and everybody over there for years. So maybe Stephen A. Smith got fed up. I don't know. Maybe he's just using this for content. I don't know.
But it gets to a point sometimes you probably just get fed up. It's just like you say one more thing and it's like, you know what? I just got to respond to dude. Like enough is enough.
Oh, who cares? Other than noise, other than drama, other than us loving to see people go at each other, why do we care about this situation? Because I still don't even know what this is all about.
Right.
And you've been explaining it for the past 4 or 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Well, now with Stephen A. Smith, he had to get some things off his chest, and he did. Also, Young Miami allegedly, now this is a Jasmine brand exclusive, they're reporting that she has to cut out Diddy on her reality show. They're saying that possibly, I'll say allegedly, that the show is pushed back a little bit because there's a lot of scenes with Diddy, and they're taking those scenes out. I don't know how true that is. Young Miami, she listens every morning. Well, most of the mornings when she's taking her kids to school. So hopefully she'll check in and say, well, that's true or that's not true. But that's allegedly. And that show is set to air on BET later this year.
Well, I wasn't looking forward to that show because of any Diddy appearances anyway.
Nope.
I was looking forward to that show because Young Miami is highly entertaining.
Absolutely.
You know, Carisha's highly entertaining. So, yes, I want to see Carisha's behind-the-scenes life.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm highly intrigued and interested in a Young Miami reality TV show.
Yeah, and we seen them taping at the BET Awards. We seen them taping up here.
They were taping here, yeah.
Yeah, they were taping a lot of places. So I look forward to seeing that as well.
I want to see. I care about seeing cameos from JT more than I do Diddy.
Mm-hmm. All right, and that is your rumor report. Mm-hmm. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. Tesla and Figueroa will be breaking down what's happening in the world, and then we have Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum, the Native Land Podcast. They'll be joining us. They got a new podcast that they launched today, and we'll talk to them in a few. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.